got here is the XZNY 24 volt 100 amp hour compact size battery. Let's open it up and take a look at it. Okay. We got a couple sets of bolts here. Two regular size ones and two really long ones. I'm not sure what you're going to do with those big long ones. It was a little bit much. Our manual and a little pouch thing here. Nice foam. A couple of packets of your do not eat gel. My favorite. Alright, we got your nice rope handles here. XZNY 25.6 volt or 24 volt 100 amp hour deep cycle battery, lithium iron phosphate. We got all your certifications here. Don't throw it away, recycle, all that sort of stuff. Got a 3-year free replacement warranty. If there's any non-human induced damage to the battery within 3 years, you can contact us to obtain a new battery. Got an email address here for the service department. It's a 2560 watt hour battery. Alright, well, let's see what this manual here has got going on. Nice little compact manual. What is this? A contact card, I guess. Warranty and support information. Huh. Well, I'm not sure if they just didn't put the manual in there, but none of that stuff is a manual. We'll look it up online and see, check out the specifications. When they sent me this battery, they send what they call a brief. And one thing that they really wanted to focus on was their new advanced low temperature charge protection on this battery. At the current time, I have no way of testing that, but I will do a follow-up video on this battery. I have a freezer on the way, and I will be testing that here shortly. So when charging, the low temperature charge protection cuts off at 32 degrees, and the discharge protection at -8 degrees. And there's also high temperature protection, which is pretty standard on every battery pretty much. Compared to the standard 24 volt 100 amp hour lithium batteries, our volume is reduced by 41% compared to two 100 amp hour 12 volt batteries. So it is a nice compact battery. There's 5,000 life cycles at 100% depth of discharge. That's really good also. Battery also features all the typical protections: overcharge, over discharge, overload, short circuit, and a precise overcurrent protection. The maximum continuous current of 100 amps and a peak current of 300 amps for 5 seconds. So it could start motors and things like that. So that's a pretty good little surge there. And it can operate a 24 volt 70 to 80 pound trolling motor. Can be expanded in 2 in series and 4 in parallel. You can't do 4 in series and 4 in parallel like you can a 12 volt, because that would put it over 48 volts if you did that. So you could have up to 8 batteries here, allowing for a battery system capacity of 20.48 kilowatt hours. So this is crazy. This is almost such an extreme deal. I almost feel like it's a mistake. And literally, if you are in the market for a 24 volt battery, I would jump on this deal as soon as possible, because I can't see that they can sustain this low of a pricing. And you need Amazon Prime for this, but as you can see, I added this to my cart. I used the 2 coupons. There's a $30 off coupon plus a 10% coupon right below that. I added this to my cart, and it comes out to $320.99 and $350.20 with taxes and everything. That's an extreme deal. If I had the money, I would pick up a couple of these right now if I could. So if you're looking for a deal, check the links below. If you don't have Prime, maybe this is the time that you sign up for Prime. I'll leave a link for that as well down in the description, and you can help the channel out, support the channel by joining Prime. I've never even seen where they have a different price for Prime versus not having Prime. because I'm normally logged in and just see the prime price all the time. But it's honestly, this battery is worth the $599 that's the regular price. So any kind of coupon is a good deal. But this right here, I would jump on this. Just, that's all there is to it. All right, so let's go ahead and get on with this capacity test here. We're going to go ahead and hook this up to the battery charger. And I'm going to go ahead and charge this with my solar panel because I got excess solar coming in today. And get her charged up. We'll do a capacity test, and then we'll go from there. Got our nice safety caps here to protect it in shipping. Nice brass inserts. And they are extra deep, so those big bolts would probably work pretty good, actually. All right, let's go ahead and get this capacity test started here. We'll get this off the charger. All right, and for this test, we're having to use, since this is a 24-volt battery, we're using our new V4 2500 watt 24-volt inverter. But I'm going to do the usual thing that I do here and connect this up to charge my big power station over here at about 480 to 500 watts. I'll get our inverter on here. All right, and since this is a 24-volt 100 amp hour, we're going to go ahead and set our meter to 102 amp hours and see if we can get 102 amp hours out of this 24-volt XZNY battery. Actually, since we're using a much larger inverter and a higher capacity battery, we're going to go ahead and ramp up this charge power and really put a load on this to charge this power station. All right, we put it on quick charge mode, 1842 watts. All right, so we passed our test with 102 amp hours that I had set for this 100 amp hour battery. But the reality is we actually got 103.5 amp hours out of this. I just lost the footage for the extra 1.5 amp hours that I added to it. So you're just going to have to take my word for that. But what I wanted to talk about here is this is an incredible value for this magnitude of battery, especially being a compact. I like to call this, it's like a 24-volt mini, but they're calling it a compact. So whatever, use your own terminology. But what I wanted to do here was bring in a comparison to a standard Group 31 12-volt battery here, which is what this is. So as you can see, well, you can't see there. Well, there's not even an inch in the width. So a standard Group 31 is a hair under 13 by about 6.5, a little under 6.5 by a little under 9. Be about 9 with the terminal bolts. And this is only 13.5 by 10 by 7.5. So it's only about an inch each way bigger than a Group 31. That's amazing that they can get that much power into this small of a form factor. At this point, this would be my top recommended 24-volt battery. It performs well. The size is perfect. It probably couldn't get any smaller than this. It has the low temperature protection, and it's a really good price, and it performs really well. I don't see how you can beat that. It has everything that I'm looking for in a 24-volt battery. I just don't see how you can go wrong with it. I really do like 24-volt batteries over 12-volt batteries. Now, 12-volt batteries have a place for sure. And a 12-volt, they're very flexible, a 12-volt battery, that you can hook two of them together to make 24 volts. But 24 volts, I think, is the perfect middle ground between 12 volt and 48 volt. And you get a performance boost out of 24 volt, and your expandability is there without having to run a whole bunch of wires and do a whole bunch of balancing and that sort of thing like you would do by adding a bunch of 12-volt batteries together. Now, the 12-volt system works well if you're on a really tight budget and you want to build slowly over time. But this is really not that much more than two, I actually think it's less than two 100 amp hour batteries, or approximately the same, and you're going to save money on the wiring alone because you don't need to run. And if you're going to purchase an inverter and you're just getting started building your system, when you upgrade from 12 volt to 24 volt, you're going to need a 24 volt inverter. So if you plan to upgrade in the near future and you're just getting started, I believe that 24 volt is a good place to start because you can make your initial investment in a 24 volt inverter rather than a 12 volt inverter right off the bat. That's not to say though that a 12 volt system is not good as well, because you can always find use for a 12 volt system down the road. I'm a big advocate for having multiple different systems for redundancy purposes. Anyway, so if you build a small 12 volt system or a small 24 volt system and you want to upgrade later, there's nothing that's stopping you from continuing to use an existing system and then upgrade to a whole new system and relegate the smaller system that you had built for specific purposes to, say, run a refrigerator, a computer, whatever you may need in a specific room, and have the redundancy there so that in the long run, if something happened with a big giant system, you're completely out of power if you're all dependent upon one system. I personally like to have multiple systems in various different sizes. I have a 12 volt system, a 24 volt system, and I'm working on a 48 volt system as we speak, and I don't intend on getting rid of any of them. I think they're all useful, and I intend to put them all in actual use on a day-to-day basis in my off-grid setup. My final thoughts are, I just don't see how you can beat this battery for the price, the size, the performance, and the value. And this would be my personal choice for a 24 volt nominal battery if I was building a 24 volt system from scratch. I've seen other reviews online where this battery performs well pretty consistently across all channels that I've seen. Some other people have torn this apart. The components are good in here. I don't know how they're doing it this cheap, but I can tell you that there's tariffs kicking in and the price of lithium iron phosphate batteries are going to start going up. The days of this continuing to fall and get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, I believe, are pretty much over as the tariffs kick in, and I believe that now is the time to get off the couch if you've been waiting around, and it's time to dive in. And if you wanted a 24 volt system, I think this is an excellent option. All right, this seems like the perfect time to go ahead and make a couple of announcements I've been working on behind the scenes. I recognize the fact that too much information can be overwhelming, and sometimes you just want some fairly simple, straightforward answers about where to get started and which things I would recommend buying out of all the products that I review here on this channel. I found that the prices fluctuate on solar products drastically from 1 week or hell even 1 day to another, and it can be hard to keep track of knowing what the best deal is going on at any given time. So I decided to start another YouTube channel as sort of a companion channel to this one, and I'm calling it DIY Solar Deals. What this companion channel will do is focus more on sharing the current deals going on. I'm already on all the mailing lists and for all the products that I would recommend, and quite often there are some great flash sales and stuff going on at any given time, and I really want to help people get into solar and get a good deal on it at the same time. On this channel, I will not make a video about anything I would not recommend. In my opinion, a deal does not simply mean that it's cheap. A deal is a quality product that I would recommend, and it's a good discount price, whether it be with a coupon code or a flash sale or a combination of ways to save you money. In other words, I'm not just going to share whatever the cheapest price I can find on any old no-name product just because it's cheap. Anyway, I'll go ahead and drop an info card right up here at the top to the new channel. You can go over there and check it out. And be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up to date and on the latest deals and whatnot without having to wade through a bunch of spam emails and all that kind of stuff. So check it out. If you like this video, please give it a like. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more. And if you want to see more of my review videos, I'll drop a link right here. And my latest video, I'll drop right here. And that's the end of this video. And I'll see you in the next one.